Hey Harry, it's Coach B here, just breaking down some of your swings. I want to show you some of the things that we're looking at here so we can take them into our next session. I'm using Zoom here. I'm going to share my screen for some of the video. Some of the font might get a little blurry, but the video quality should be good enough. Let's take a look at some of these swings that we recorded here. I'm going to let it loop for a little bit. So there's a lot of things that we like already about you and your swing. The first thing that you could tell right away is there's a lot of natural power here. I mean, you're a pretty big, strong kid, and even on some of your miss hits, the ball's jumping off the bat. And I think there's still a lot of available power here that we haven't tapped into yet. And I know in these sessions we were working with an over-exaggerated high leg kick, trying to get you to get into your hips and use more of your lower half. And I think we continue on that path for now. We also really like, your progression from the first week that we had you till now in these hitting sessions. Major improvement already. And I know you're working hard and you're taking it seriously, and I think it's really going to pay off for you. So we're excited about, your progress. Um, Two little things I'm going to mention that we also like, kind of, fundamental things here are your front side of your lower half, your lead leg here. You have a nice, firm plant that's gonna help you to generate power. And I'll go more into details. We break down the swing in a second. And we also, I really like your top hand. You have a nice path on your top hand, and I want to kind of even it out with the bottom hand a little bit. I know we worked on isolating both hands in our last session, but I'll show you more as I go into the frame by frame stuff. But a lot of good things here. A few of these swings, there's a little inconsistency here, but I think that just comes from reps. I think the more you rep out, the more repetitions you have, you're really gonna learn how to make solid contact consistently. So let's take a look at some of the frame by frame stuff here. So kind of walking through this swing, a couple things I noticed. Let's kind of step through it here first. Once again, working with that high leg kick here. I like that you're getting up there. I mean, look at that position right there. That's a pretty good position to be in. Let me break that down for a second real quick. That's a pretty good launch point right there. Nice balance. Let me get my pen and draw on the screen for you and show you some of the things I like here. That just caught my eye real quick. First of all, head tucked on the shoulder, right there. That's really good stuff. I like that these hands are getting back. This is another point of emphasis we really had specifically with you in the last session. These hips you got a little bit of, tilt here. You're building a little tension. All right, your chest is kind of pointed towards the catcher here, building up that, that torque back here in this back hip. Nice and balanced. Beautifully balanced right down the middle here. It's a good position to be in. Coming down here, front foot's going to land. Once again, see how that front foot lands nice and firm right there? That's something we really try to work on, and you have a good starting point for that. That's definitely going to help you there. You can see your rear leg there, your back knee kind of bending in. And there's something that we really focus on here that you're also doing really well with, is that top hand, right arm, and that back knee working together. And you see them turning in here to attack the ball. That's really good stuff. Really good stuff. One of the things I am going to focus on in a second, though, is the path of your hands. I feel like you naturally like to drop the hands. So a lot of the balls come off the bat and kind of go straight up. And I'm worried about, unproductive outs, pop outs, things like that. So I'm going to talk about high hand path in a little bit that I think will really help you. But yeah, that's really good stuff there. Firm front side, back knee turning in. Something else that I'm a little worried about, and once again, we mentioned this in last Monday's session. I'm just going to show you right here, is you have a tendency to lock this front arm right here as it gets over the plate. We talk all the time about leading with that knob, getting that knob going towards the pitcher this way, and then kind of getting extended out front here, palm up, palm down, getting extended in front of the plate, right? Sometimes you lock that front arm, which is going to give you a little bit of trouble, especially on the inside pitches here. Now, let me clear that. It's kind of messy. But you see that front arm locking right there? It becomes a problem as we look at more of your film. And I know we talked about it, you and I, in the last session. So let's try to not lock that front arm and get that over the plate a little bit. It's going to lead to some bad habits. but we'll talk about that in the next session as well. I have that on my list here. This is a low pitch, so I understand why you're going down to get it, but we like to keep a high hand path to stay, you know, keep our hands up to avoid, you know, popping the ball up too much. This is not a bad one because, yeah, once again, it's coming down a little bit at your knees, but some of the other film I'm breaking down of you have a tendency, and you see it in the cage when we're working, to hit the top of the cage. And we definitely want to avoid that because, you know, we say there's no bad hops in the air, and we want to be productive and move runners over, be a complete hitter. So that's something else we'll work on as well. Looking at the loop again, let me play the loop. Something I definitely want to focus on is generating more power in your lower half, right, in those hips. And I want to make sure that we're driving with that back hip, launching forward here. Sorry, my computer's loading real quick. And I have a good sample to show you in a second. A little comparison. That's something that you could work on here. Let me pull it up right here. Jose Altuve, a guy who generates a lot of power, despite being, you know, a smaller player. Here's a video of him in the cages, BP. And he has an exaggerated knee lift, leg lift, kind of like you do. So I wanted to show you that, like, as an example of that. But I want you to see the difference of, I feel like your load is very rushed. You're picking up, you're slamming it in the ground, right? And all of a sudden the ball is jumping up on you. Watch the rhythm that he has, right? It's going to be in slow motion. Watch the rhythm, watch the balance. And let's work on that, staying in rhythm with our load. But he does a couple things that I want to work on here. Let's take a look at it. Have the high leg kick, very similar to you, that we're working on now. We can always take that out going forward, but I definitely want to generate more power in the lower half for you and more balance. So we're going to keep that for now. Driving through the ball there. Simple swing, not trying to do too much. Balance like you, I like as well. Let me see that one more time here. Front knee is going to come up. He's going to lean back on that back hip, building those hips, cock those hips, already come forward, back. That back elbow, back knee are going to come through the ball. I have another good one of him in game right here. Let me show you. And you're going to see a leg lift that allows him to generate power despite his size here. Let's take a look at it. Sorry if the rest of the font's blurry, but the video should be pretty good quality. Just taking a second to load. But just to review while we wait here, I feel like your load's a little rushed, a little more balance and rhythm in the load, taking your time, right? Being on time for the pitch, you know, getting a little more out of your hips, driving with that back hip, and keeping those hands up, not dropping those hands, not having a tendency to let gravity win the battle and those hands come down prior to the swing. And he'll show you right here on this swing that he keeps those hands up all the time. Very rarely popping out, very rarely an infield pop up. Driving the baseball, line drives, gap to gap, a lot of the stuff that we preach here. All right, video should be good. Come on. Here he is, high leg kick coming down, front foot's gonna land, hips gonna fly open, back elbow is gonna stay close to the body. You do a good job of this as well. Both are gonna turn in. Watch the path of his hands. This pitch is a little higher though, so he stays on top of it. A lot of the guys, especially at your age, get below that ball, clip the bottom of it and pop up. He does a great job of, you know, we like to call high hand path, right? Hands across the chest. Watch the Astros. Watch the path of the knob here that we talk about in our clinics. Stay on top of the ball. Be productive. So we're going to work on that with a little high ball drill next time. But definitely something that you can emulate here. So a couple drills that we can talk about in the next session. I'll show you in person. It's going to be a pinch drill, I call it, to get more out of your lower half. And let me play this. Let me pull this up. Pinch drill, so that when you are getting that front leg up here, you can, right there, you're going to pinch the back hip first, lift your back leg up, pinch in like that. I'll show you in person. It's hard to show here. Pinch the front leg up, get into it, balance kind of like you are right there, nice and exaggerated. And then I'll wait for you, and then I'll flip it to you softly, and then you're going to land and come through the ball. It's a pinch drill. I have it on my list. I'll bring it up to you next time. Also, another drill we worked on in the last session was the walk it out drill, where you got set in the box, ready to go, and then you kind of walked out your load, right? You went forward 1 step, 2 step, 3 steps, kept those hands back, kind of like in that image right here you have here with your hands loaded back there. I love where your hands are right there. Bats at a 45-degree angle right towards the catcher's mitt, ready to launch. So we'll add those 2 drills into our session next time, you know. But overall, very excited about your progress. We like what you're doing. We like the way you're working. And I'm excited to share some of these things with you in the next session. Let me just remove this optimization so you can see the screen. If you have any questions, I can't wait to the next session. You just want to email me and ask me questions about terminology or anything like that. I put my email address here, and my Twitter link as well. If you want to see some of the videos that I post, some of the stuff we use today. But I look forward to working with you next time, and I hope this helps. I'll see you in the next session.